everybody. This is Delilah Fitness, and I'm home in my wonderful food prep area. Now, I don't call it kitchen because I don't cook. So it's a food prep area where I prepare my food. I got an email about what is it that I drink instead of milk. Now, a lot of you guys know I don't drink milk. So what I do drink is a lot of nut milk and a lot of coconut milk. Now, since I'm in Belize, and Belize is a very beautiful place, it's actually pretty chilly out here. That's why I have a hat on. My ears get cold quick, so that's one of my secrets. My ear can't take cold weather. That's why I left the States. And I know it's cold in the States, but I can't take the cold weather. So, I do not drink cow milk. I am vegan. So what I do, since Belize has a lot of coconuts, and they have some great coconuts, it's many different different kinds of coconuts. So I have some coconuts, and so what I did is make milk out of the coconut. So if you look at my website, if you go to my website and my YouTube channel, is going to explain how to make coconut milk. But I'm going to show you what I do with my coconut milk to make it taste good. So after I take the coconuts, I'm going to tell you I'll crack it, take the inside, and I actually blend it in the Vitamix. And so after it's all cracked and it's in the Vitamix, I separate the pulp from the milk. So here it is. This is the coconut milk that I made. Now, I like my coconut milk a little sweet. So, and I like nutmeg. I'm a big nutmeg fan. So I have some medjool dates. And make sure when you're using the medjool dates that you take the pit out. So I like it because it's a lot more meatier. The other one with the pit out is a little dry. I have my palate. I don't like things like that. But I do like medjool. It's juicier. It's nice, and it has the water still in it. So what I do is take the dates, and I'll open it up, you know, the medjool dates. There you go. I love dates. So I'll put it in. I'll put like 3 in because I like it sweet, but not that sweet. So I'll do that's 1. Alright, so I got this. I'm going to open up the second date. Dates are really good. Like, instead of sugar, I use dates. I don't use any sugar. I don't use no sugar at all. I'll basically just use dates. If I need to sweeten something, I'll use dates. So, dates has a lot of fiber. It's really, really good for the intestines. And with the sugar, it's not like simple white sugar where you get like a sugar rush because the insulin level spikes up. The good thing about dates is that in the blood sugar, it disseminates slowly. Because of the fiber content, you're not just getting a pure sugar, you know what I mean? You're getting the fiber. The fiber has a tendency to block, and it's a time release with the sugar in the blood, so you won't get like a sugar high, and then your insulin to go up, and then you'll crash. Alright, so I put the medjool dates in. And now, as you guys know, I'm a big nutmeg fan. Love nutmeg. Nutmeg and cinnamon. Oh man, it smells, drop the cover. It smells so good. So I drop the cover, wash it later. So now I have the nutmeg, there you go. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to just do a little bit, so. Alright, that's pretty much, alright, so, yeah, it almost smells like Christmas time. What do they drink? Nutmeg, like eggnog, but I don't put the egg in it. This is like my interpretation of eggnog. So I'll take now, I don't just use any blender, and I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the Vitamix. Now, I'm not doing a commercial for Vitamix, but what I noticed in Belize, when I did buy a blender, it didn't match up as far as the engine. It didn't really get everything smooth, so I got a Vitamix. I highly recommend. It's expensive, about $500, the minimum $5, but they're having a special right now. About $500 or less, you can get, like I said, as a sale now, because the Vitamix is having a sale. So after that, you can put bananas in it, but I don't have any bananas, so that's why I put the dates in. Usually if I don't put the dates in, I'll put a banana in, a couple of bananas in, because again, I don't use sugar. I don't highly recommend that. If anybody has diabetes, that you use sugar. Alright, so what I'll do after that, I'll take it and put it in the Vitamix. Now the Vitamix makes a lot of noise, so bear with me. Alright, here we go. Alright. coconut milk is pretty much done. Coconut milk. So what I'll do is take a mason jar, like a big mason jar. Alright, hold up. Alright, so I'll take a mason jar after I'm done with the Vitamix. Yummy. Now, you could put turmeric in there. Now, turmeric, this is the new thing now. It's in the vegan world. It's called golden milk. So what golden milk is turmeric. Now, turmeric is really, really good for inflammation. I'm a big fan of turmeric. Today, I just wanted my milk to be simple. And you can store this. Now, this is not like, processed. So it doesn't have any chemicals in it. So it's not going to last. It lasts about, I say, about no more than 2 days. After 2 days, it starts to separate. It starts to decompose. Like anything, when you don't put chemicals in it, it doesn't have a longer shelf life. And I like it like that. I don't really need any chemicals. So this is my milk. Look how good that is. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm drinking cacao, or if I have a cacao, I usually put cacao in here and a banana as a shake. And I'll put some like flaxseed in there for my omega-3. And I'll make it into a shake. And take it during the course of the day when I'm running from client to client and I don't have a lot of time to eat anything solid. I will sustain my life energy as far as every 3 weeks, every 3 hours I have to eat something because my blood sugar starts to go down. So I highly recommend, and I know some of you guys are going on that fasting, that new fashion thing where everybody's into fasting, interval fasting or something like that, where you don't eat 18 hours. Now I don't fast. I don't fast. I'm gonna say it. I'm not a big fan of fasting. First of all, people don't know what they're doing when they're fasting. Let's say, for example, somebody has been eating processed food all their life and they decide to fast. Now, you have to be really, really careful when you're fasting because you can pass out. If you have been eating processed food all your life and you're gonna do a week fast where you're just gonna, and please, let's not even get into water fasting. I don't even know how that's done. I don't know. I can't even understand fasting. First of all, I'm not a big fan of fasting. I feel that the body needs nutrients. Now, if you are going to fast, you need to make sure that you have guidance from somebody who knows the process of fasting. You are going to shock your body if you go from one extreme to the next. Please don't do that. You can really end up in a hospital. So if you are going to fast, there's a process to fasting. And I highly recommend, if you never fast, to take it like 2 days first and see how your body feels. And if you are going to fast, do it on the weekends because your body is going to be releasing things and you're going to have to stay by a bathroom because your body is going to be pulling toxins from the intestines. And a lot of times when people are fasting, because a lot of people eat a lot of processed food and they're eating a lot of sugar and everything, it blocks the walls of the intestines. So even if you are fasting, what happens is that, and it's your first time, or you use the body, you zigzag, you fast, and then you don't fast for another year. Now, the reason why I'm talking about fasting is because the New Year's is coming up, and people are going to be going through a detoxing process. Now, I don't have a problem with detoxing. If for somebody who's been eating meat, I would highly recommend them getting off of flesh and doing a vegan detox where your body is still getting the nutrients, but you're basically just not eating flesh. So you're getting the nutrients from the plant, but you're just cutting off flesh for a while so your body could reboot itself. Because a lot of times when people eat meat, there's a lot of parasites in the meat. And if you're not careful, you're buying meat from somebody who's not clean, you can actually have a lot of parasites in your gut, blocking the intestinal wall from absorbing the nutrients. So you may have good intentions by fasting or detoxing, but because your body has so much parasites in it, you need to clean the parasites out first. And there's a process for cleaning out parasites too. We'll talk about that in further posts. But for right now, I wanted to do this post really because I'm hearing everybody's going to be fasting and detoxing in January because they want to clean out their system. But the best thing that you can do, now the holidays are coming up. Christmas is coming up, and you guys are going to be sitting at the table with family members. And please be conscious, aware of what you're eating. Like I said in my last post, eat one plate. Monitor what's on your plate and walk away after the first plate. Don't sit at the table. Have conversations. Remove yourself from the table after your first eating. Don't sit there all day, and go and walk around with the family. Go sit in the living room and have a discussion. Because if you are going to sit by the table, and I experienced as a child, I watched my parents gorge, and hypertension and diabetes is big in my family. My mother is taking insulin, and she's type 2 diabetes. So I'm telling you this from experience of watching my mother go through an insulin, like sugar shock, and pass out because of her diabetes. So what happens is that eat one time and everybody leave. Walk away from the table. Don't stay. Have coffee in the living room. And if after an hour or so you're still hungry, then be consciously aware of what you're eating and how much you're eating, how much intake. And you can always take some of that stuff home. Grab a Tupperware. Take it with you. But as far as fasting and what people are going to be detoxing, be very, very careful with that, because that could work against you depending on how you are proceeding with detoxing. Again, like I said, parasites, there's stuff that's blocking the intestinal wall because it's years of eating processed food. And so if you do have good intention, you do decide to detox, the nutrients from the food, the greens, are going to be blocked. So you need to eat fiber. That's why I say water fasting doesn't work, because you need fiber to pull the toxins out so you can go to the bathroom. The fiber will pull the toxins from the intestinal wall, and it will go in as waste. So be very careful, because I've seen and I've heard some interesting cases that didn't pan out very nicely for people who had their intentions was to get healthy. And what happens with that, and from my experience in the industry for 30 years, is that people will have one bad experience, and then they will go and tell everybody else that it was a horrible experience, and you will leave a deposit on somebody who may have been thinking about going that route. What I can say is that if you are going to fast, do it properly. Find somebody who's a nutritionist, or find somebody who is a doctor, or follow or get somebody who knows what they're doing. Don't do it on your own. Don't do it on your own. You need guidance. You need somebody to monitor you. You know what I mean? Because if the situation doesn't pan out, plus you're using the person who is guiding you has experience in that field. You don't. You're going through trial and error, and you don't want to make a fatal decision to go cheap and not hire a nutritionist or hire somebody who can guide you, because what you're really paying for is that person's years of experience. Now, you could go and do it on your own, but I don't recommend it. Even when me being a personal trainer, I had trainers in my life. I had trainers for over 10 years when I first got into this. And I don't have a problem paying for an investment, because I'm investing in my health. And a lot of you guys, and I gotta be honest, will spend money on an outfit or get your nails and get your hair done before you invest in you. And then by the time you get in trouble, when you got diabetes and hypertension, then you want to hire somebody to help you. But the situation is, you had an opportunity, and now you say, well, now you're looking for a trainer or a nutritionist, and you don't mind spending money on Gucci, and get a Gucci bag or some shoes and everything, and you go to a restaurant and you have the foie gras or lobster. You go big in that department. But when it comes to your health, you won't go big in that. Also, if you have a car, you have a nice car, and you'll buy the expensive gas, but you won't invest in you, but you'll invest in your car. You get your car fixed, you do everything for everybody else, and that's what women do. That's why women end up breaking down, because they nurture, and it's natural to nurture as a woman. I love being a woman, I love embracing, but at the same token, if you as a woman, and I'm talking to my sisters in the room, and brothers, guys, you'll understand, because you're reaping the benefits of the women nurturing you. Women will nurture until they drop dead on the floor, and life will go on without you. Now, make sure in 2020, if you don't do nothing, that you give yourself some TLC and take care of you. take care of your food, what goes into your mouth. Balance your food. Balance. Don't consume one thing over the other. Don't consume more fruits or more this over vegetables. Vegetable to fruit, balance. Everything has to be balanced. So it's really important because I'm 53. I've watched a lot of women go through having cancer or just passing out, an aneurysm, because they spent so much time breastfeeding and taking care of other people. And the bottom line is that you forgot the most important person to take care of, and that's you. That's you. So I'm really extending myself as far as being a woman and a woman who enjoys life. I want to make sure that I'm throwing a lifesaver for those people who hear me and it resonates within them. There's some people that's going to be like, this is BS. I don't care. You know, I'm going to do you. But by the time, and this is experience, I have experience, by the time people get to me, it's almost too late for them. So if you can hear in your spirit what I'm saying, please, please use it. I'm throwing you, like I said, a lifesaver. As a woman, we spent so much time, and I was there. I had fibroids. I had stuff going on inside of me. And when I started taking care of myself and really spending time and eating right and making my own food, that's when my body started healing. I wasn't always like this. It took me, I was sick for about 5 years of my life. I almost had surgery, almost got cut. But I decided to change my eating and exercise more. And yes, it was challenging in the beginning, but if you look at me now, and if I look back in hindsight, I made the better choice for me. And that's why I'm in a position to help other people. So I'm throwing a lifesaver. So for anybody that hears me, and I know, you know, you guys are going to say, well, you got time for that because you're a personal trainer. I don't. I have a lot of clients, and I'm running around assisting everybody. There are times when I have to cancel or leave a block, 2-hour block for just me, because I need to take care of my mental state, and I need to take care of me first. If I don't take care of me, I can't give what I don't have. And that's what we seem to forget. Giving. Make sure you take care of you. And that goes with starting off eating the right foods, clean food. So all my sisters out there, all my women, all my sisters, brothers, I'll get to you on the next post. But right now, this is pertaining to the women. Holidays is coming up. You're going to be in the kitchen making food. Be consciously aware of what you're putting in the food. Cut down on some of that oil. Use other alternatives. And we'll talk about that in other posts, other things you can use besides oil. But I just wanted to take this time out to wish everybody happy holidays and to share my coconut milk with dates and nutmeg in it, because I will be drinking this. So yeah, take care of yourself. And yes, I am available for counseling, and nutritional counseling, and that's big. So I'm going to be focusing. I love the fitness. I'm still going to be doing the fitness, but I'm going to be focusing more on nutrition, because a lot of my clients are exercising, but the nutrition is lacking. It's lacking. It's coming. It's getting there, but need more work. And you have to try different foods. If your palate is used to sweets and fats, salts, and sugar, you gotta break out of that. You gotta break the palate out of that, because we're used to eating certain foods that comfort food. So during some of my posts, I'm gonna introduce you to different types of fruits and vegetables that is going to be used as a substitute instead of what you've been eating. You know. So bear with me. So again, have a great day. Happy holidays. Again, don't overindulge. Pace yourself. Remember, children, they're watching you and they're going to emulate that behavior, because I'm starting to see a lot of obese children, which doesn't make any sense. And a lot of them are diabetic, and they're predisposed to being diabetic as they get older, and hypertension. So you really want to spend some time with your children, and they're not buying the groceries, the adults are. So be very consciously aware of what you are feeding your children. Because if you know that it's not healthy, don't bring it in the house. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Leave it at the market. Leave it at the market. Don't buy it. All right? Because that would actually help the child out with creating habits as they get older. They have children, because you're creating a ripple effect, and you're affecting them. And I know you love your children, but love is a verb, and you have to start in your refrigerator. And this year, I'm gonna be. If anybody needs help cleaning out their refrigerator, hit me up. When we're gonna throw some stuff out and put some stuff in. Doing market tours. So I'm gonna be doing market tours in Belize, like to go to the market and point out certain foods that you should be eating and certain foods that you need to put back. Now in the market, what's so great about the market tour is that it's all natural foods. It's not going to be processed food. I am not a fan of processed food. Coca-Cola, out. Sodas, anything in a package with a lot of chemicals that you can't pronounce. If you cannot pronounce it, you shouldn't be eating it. So again, it's real simple. You don't need a PhD for this. I'm going to keep it real simple. If you go to the store and look at the back of the package and you can't pronounce the word, put it down and go to the market and get yourself some plantains and some kale and some coconuts. You can even get, and the Belize, what's so great about Belize is that there's coconuts all over the place. You can even ask a neighbor that's not eating. I see coconuts on the floor. And it's like, wow, that's food on the floor that you could be eating. And coconut is good for your brain. It's good for your brain. So it helps out with the firing of the neurons in the brain. And it helps you think clearly. So coconut is a superfood. Right here. You guys got it in your own backyard, Belize. You're not using it. We love it. We love it. So again, all right, guys. Again, be safe. Love you guys. I'm going to enjoy my coconut milk. And if anybody have any questions about nutrition, hit me up. All right, guys. Love you. And you know what? Eat your fruits and vegetables. Peace.